Hey, morning guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are seeing this video. I haven't done a video for quite a while, but today I feel the need to do one based on what transpired yesterday. First of all, I want to say that we are thankful to all the persons who have been supporting Triston during this his journey with this growth on his neck. They say it's a tumor. They also say it's benign, but we are not 100% sure unless a biopsy is done. However, we have been receiving assistance for Triston from abroad, thanks to our friends who support us, Miss Marie Vernon from Texas, also a gentleman from California, and then various Belizeans right from around our very own country here. I know a lady from Pomona, I won't call her name, and other persons have been supporting Triston during this journey. The thing is, yesterday, that growth burst. All right, during the night, Triston said that it was itching him. So his mom tell him, don't scratch it because, you know what might happen. But if you itching him, the child, he's only 12 years old, he will probably rub it or scratch it. But the thing is, later on in the day, it bursts. And when it bursts, it oozed a lot of blood. I asked if any matter came out. The guys, you know what we call matter in Belize, the pus. None of that came out. It was just blood. All right. And at one point, the blood was really spraying out, and frightened Triston and frightened the mom, and then the mom started to cry, and then Triston started to cry, and so panic set in. When this happens, someone called me. I was at Port Authority clearing out some stuff that we had received thanks to our donors from New York City. We had received 3 barrels yesterday, and I was there dealing with that when I got the message. So what I did, I made a quick post saying that the stuff on Triston neck have burst, and if there's anybody within the area or nearby that would please take them to the emergency room at the hospital, the local hospital, so that doctors can attend to it, because these people are frightened. This boy, 11 years old, is frightened. 12 years old is frightened. All right, and so when I did that, immediately I got a phone call from a taxi man who said that he's going there now. And then when he called again, he says, "Look, Albert, it looked like somebody picked them up," because I asked the mom what happened. She said that while they were walking out from their home on the street, someone saw them and said, "Are you guys going to the hospital?" They said yes. And so the individual took them directly to the hospital, which was good. So whoever you are, sir or mom, we want to say thank you for such kindness and compassion for these people. All right, to help out Triston and his mom to get to the emergency room as fast as possible. Now, bear in mind also, guys, that Miss D, Triston's mom, I call her Miss D. Miss D is also pregnant. I'm not sure how much months, but she's pregnant. And so all of this is a lot on her. All right, all of this is a lot on her, her son, and based on what they have told me, they said that they have been to the hospital several times with this issue, and all they receive is medication for pain and other stuff, antibiotics to treat whatever is causing or creating the growth. But with all of those, the things still grow. All right, the things still grow. I didn't came into their lives up until about 3 weeks ago, after coming from taking my kids to school, and I saw him on the corner of my eye walking with this lump. I think it was probably the providence of God that allowed me to see him, because I wasn't looking to see anybody, but I saw him on the corner of my eye, and I says, "Ooh, that thing doesn't look good on that boy's neck." Miss Margaret was here. She was visiting from North Carolina. Miss Margaret was here. She was with us for 2 weeks. And the following day, I think it was a Sunday, we were going to the market to get stuff to cook. And Miss Margaret saw the kid. And Miss Margaret says, "Hey Albert, isn't that the boy with the thing on his neck?" And we said, "Yes, that's him." So we made an about turn and we interviewed him, talked with him, and we says, "All right, cool. We need to go and see your mom because this definitely has to be looked at by a medical professional, right?" And so that's when we first visited the mom and Triston at their home. And it is so unfortunate that these things happen to people who are at the lowest level of the social ladder. I mean, the poorest of the poor, this happened to. Triston's mom is a struggling mom with she and her kids. And they live in one of the area of Belize City, you know, where most poor people live. All right, and they have it hard. They have it hard. Their circumstances are rough, but they do what they do. And from what I hear in the neighborhood is that they are very godly people. They go to church every Sunday at the Universal Church on the Boulevard. So that's a plus. All right, they have strong faith in God, in a divine being, in Jesus, the Holy Spirit. They have that faith, and I believe it is that faith that mother was praying for help for her son that probably allowed God for me to see that little boy in the corner of my eye that morning coming to drop my kids from school. Now, I don't like to bash two institutions, and I would never do it. All right, I would prefer to sort it out privately, or to see how best to bring or come to a solution, because there are citizens who just waiting for that moment to bash an institution and, you know, to name all the misdeeds and the wrongs. And while these and some of these comments may be true, I respect, and because I have family members who were directly involved in these institutions, I kind of hold back from attacking, because while the institution might have their faults, there are still good people working within them, namely the police and the present public hospital. I don't bash police officers, I don't bash the police department, I don't attack the police department, because my father was a policeman. And so I know the difficulties, I know the strain and the stress and the workload demands and the shift hours that police officers have to endure to get the job done. All right. I also have family members who are still in the police force. I have several officers who have retired, all right, from the police force. They have served their time. They have, you know, but I know the stories. I know the trials that officers have to go through when they do their best to serve their community, their country, as upholders of the law. So for that, you won't see me. And if complaints would come to me, I would find someone within the department to deal with it rather than make it public. But because I know that there are some people like piranhas waiting to just attack the police department. Likewise the local hospital. All right, my mother had worked for the hospital when it was on, I think it's Eve Street by the seaside. My mother worked at the old hospital while I was still a student at Anglican Cathedral College. I have lots of respect for medical personnel, nurses and doctors. There are some doctors and nurses who were in their younger days, over at the old Board Hospital. I remember their faces. They don't know me, but I was very, very observant of these individuals because it was very, inspiring to see persons who would go to study and come back to serve their country as professional nurses and doctors. So there are several doctors whom I see now. They're older now, but I remember their faces very well. My mom was the cook for the hospital for many, many, many years until she passed away from cancer in 2013. So I respect and I don't bash medical professionals because I know the difficulty, I know the harsh treatment they face from a public that demands immediate help and results, especially for their sick loved ones. And then I also know that when people are sick, they are frightened, because I have been down that road. When my mother was ailing with cancer, there was no label highlights, there was nobody to tell us, well, this is what will happen, this is how it will progress, this is cancer. We have nobody to do that for us. So as a grown individual, as a grown man, when my mom had cancer, that was kind of scary. So I say all of that to say this, that after we got the message about after 1, Triston, they will arrive at the hospital, and then I got through with my business at the Port Authority about a minute after 3 or somewhere after 3 when they came home, and then we unload the vehicle with the barrels. And then I dash over to the facility to go and check on them, to find out that they were just sitting right there, and they told him to put the cloth, keep the cloth there, neck, and someone will tend to you. Now, I don't know what is considered emergency in their case. I don't know what is considered top priority to be attended to, but maybe they had other people who were far more in need of service than Triston. But again, this is a child, all right? This is a child. And so, because I know what it feels like, and I can relate to the frightened feeling and the panic that they might possibly be going through, plus also I took into consideration that this lady is pregnant, her son they bleed from the neck. I decided, you know what, guys, with some of the donation that came for them, let me take Triston to get immediate assessment at the Coral Grove Pediatric Center for Kids with Dr. Cholin. And that's when we took him there, and Dr. Cholin gave us a referral. He examined him, and he himself was very alarmed to see that this tumorous growth has grown tremendously since the last time he saw Triston. All right? So he did his assessment, he did a write-up and a referral, and sent us back to the facility, this time with instruction to see a specific doctor. And up until today, my latest information in regard to Triston was that he was released after 12 last night. Again, check this out. He was released after 12 last night. They released 4 people after 12 midnight to go home, and they will see if they can, how best to treat this thing. A surgeon would be available. I mean, it makes me wonder, and I've seen whereby people who don't attack these things quickly and effectively, these things tend to grow, and they grow beyond control when then nothing can be done. So my thing is, while it is still not that huge, because I've did some YouTube videos and looked up some different stuff in relation to the same issue, and within the neck area there's a main vein that is responsible for blood, and then there's also his passageway. And I am worried about, what if this thing sort of press on this guy may invade? What if this growth start to grow and affect the blood supply to the brain? What if this thing grows and restrict his air passage? So many questions to ask. All right, and we are trying our best. Triston is absolutely no family member to me. I don't know Triston from Adam, but all I know is that the work that God has called us to do, Lady will highlight, the work is to help and to be the ears and eyes for poor people within our country. And we won't stop, we won't back down, and we thank you guys for your support. Every one of you who have been sending your support, because we had received some funding for passports and visa, but World Pediatrics have mentioned to me that when it comes to cancerous situations, they don't really push 100 like that for cancerous situations. All right. Now, if the baby was born with a club foot, they can fix that. If the baby needs a surgery to rectify the trick, you know, like what happened to baby Kevija, they can do that. Corrective surgeries is what they specialize in. All right, especially for children, corrective surgeries. But when it comes to the cancer, all right, I was with them yesterday also before I started my business at Port Authority. I was with them yesterday, and they're saying that cancer, they don't really provide much support with cancers. Cancers is a whole different thing. It's a whole different thing. So October the 6th, officials from surgeons from World Pediatrics will be in Belize, and they will come and assess Triston's case and to see what's the best route that we can take to, you know, relieve this growth from this child's neck. All right. In the meantime, we're asking for all our supporters to pray for Triston. All right. I seen a comment from a lady from Trinidad who is prepared and ready to contribute to Triston's medical well-being. But the thing is, we need to know directly, can it be fixed? What can be done? All right. So we're still waiting to get an official diagnosis of what it is, what can be done, and how best to rectify the situation for Triston. He's a young boy. He's a young boy. His mother is pregnant. These people don't need that kind of stress. All right. And trust me, she has cried enough for her son. Members of the school where Triston attends are praying for Triston. The principal, the teachers has reached out to me and to say, Mr. Albert, whatever it takes, we are willing to assist in helping Triston to overcome this tumor. So our update for today with Triston is that he was released 12 midnight, and they are still searching for a surgeon that will be willing to remove this mass, this tumorous mass from Triston's neck. All right? All is not lost. We have faith, we have hope, and we trust in God that this thing will be removed, but we want someone with specialized skills to be able to do it. So, while the money is good, while the support is good, prayer is key. All of us in unison join our prayers and send it up to the Most High for this little boy. I'm sure God will work a way for Triston to get this thing removed from him. All right?